to share with all of you. We have great values, weekend specials on everything, and on top of that, you're also going to learn about a couple brand new things in this hour as well. So stay right where you are. If you're just stopping by, I'm Colleen, Andrew Lessman is here, and we have another hour and 10 minutes only to share a lot. So we're going to jump right in. Next up, we're going to talk about one of Andrew's top selling products of all time. An absolute favorite, an absolute must-have, one that you would suggest if you're gonna take, you know, 3 things from Andrew Lessman, this needs to be in your top 3 of what you're taking in your vitamin arsenal.
I always talk about the fact that omega-3s are essential nutrients, just like vitamins and minerals. And a lot of folks haven't made that connection. Just because they're fats doesn't mean that they behave like vitamins and minerals or can be defined as vitamins and minerals in that we cannot make them, we must have them. A failure to get them results in consequences. So whether we're insufficient or deficient, omega-3s are going to be problematic. So we have to pay attention to them just as we do pay attention to vitamins and minerals. CoQ10 is a little different, and also it's quite similar. It's different in the fact that our body can make a small amount of CoQ10, but as we get older, the amount of CoQ10 our body can make decreases significantly. If we're under stress, so we have less than an ideal diet, if we might smoke, if we might drink alcohol, if we take any number of the most popular drugs, cholesterol-lowering statin drugs, bisphosphonates for osteoporosis or osteopenia, whether we might take antidepressants or beta blockers for high blood pressure or cardiac arrhythmias, these are all enormous classes of drugs. They all decrease our body's ability to produce what little CoQ10 it can. And CoQ10 is vitally important because it is really behind the optimum, the ideal functioning of all the cells, all the systems, all the organs in our body. Again, I often describe this, and it's a very basic fact of sort of human anatomy and physiology, but it's something I think that escapes us, because in the world around us, power is distributed. We have a power plant, it delivers power to HSN. In our body, our heart distributes nutrients and oxygen by circulating the blood. But each cell of the trillions of cells in our body is absolutely individually responsible for the production of its own energy. If that cell doesn't produce energy, that cell dies. So every single cell is individually, independently responsible for producing energy. The way it does that is by transporting electrons. Of all things, we think of our lives as being so vibrant and colorful, yet the energy we have to experience life as we know it is the movement of electrons and little organelles in every single cell of our body, the mitochondria of our body. And it's CoQ10 that's the central molecule to that electron transport process. So CoQ10 goes to the very core of existence, the very core of the quality of our existence, because it's the ability of our cells to produce the energy we need, the ability of organs like our heart, our liver, our brain to produce the energy we require. So whereas omega-3s are structural, that they literally make up the structure of our body, the membranes in our body, CoQ10 is truly all about function and also all about protection. It's one of the most protective antioxidants we could consume. And what's interesting is CoQ10 transports electrons. Electrons are basically what drives free radicals, electrons. And so if you have something that can scavenge those free random electrons, then that can protect your body. So just as CoQ10 transports electrons in creating energy in our cells, CoQ10 can scavenge electrons also in protecting our cells. Again, one of the incredible, remarkable benefits of Mother Nature's blueprint, that a single molecule both produces the energy and protects against the production of energy at the same time.
I just want to show you real quickly what the choices are. We have a 30, a 60, a 120, and a 240 count. What's interesting about this chart is actually a little off, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. The 30 is normally 35, today it's 20. The 60 is normally 64, today it's 37.90. 120 is normally 119, today it's 59. So this is $5 off, and check this out. The 240 is normally $2 Q10. I know my chart says 109, but yesterday Andrew decided to lower this further, took $5 extra off here, took $10 extra off this one. So you're not saving $100, you're saving $110 today for $99.90. You get the 240 count, free shipping, and flex pays available on the 2 largest sizes.
I did it because they work so well together. I wanted to make it easy to justify an investment in whatever size you choose of the CoQ10 with the omega-3s. And CoQ10, like omega-3s, we were talking about 4 numbers that are critical to our good health. We hopefully work with our diet and lifestyle as well as with our doctors to manage our triglyceride levels, to manage our blood cholesterol levels, to manage our blood pressure levels, to manage our blood sugar levels. To the extent we can manage our weight and manage those 4 numbers, we have gone a long way to ensuring a long, healthy life. And CoQ10, like omega-3s, they're the 2 ingredients about which I can say that those 4 numbers, all of the other things we do and the work we do, the medications we might take, those things that we do to balance those numbers, omega-3s and CoQ10 both support our endeavors and support those numbers, and in so doing support our health.
And one thing I want